Hey y'all, Jim Wellman in my kitchen making up pollen patties today. I made a bunch of splits in the backyard the other day and I needed some pollen patties. I always have some frozen pollen patties in the freezer. This one I just took out of the freezer, put it back. But I wanted to tell you my mixture. I mentioned my mixture in the past in some of my videos, and the reason I use what I use is reading about some different studies about pollen patties over the years, starting way back. I think there was one, first one I ever read about was University of Minnesota, I believe. They did a study on pollen patties and different protein sources and whatnot to use. And so this is kind of a mixture of that. So let me go ahead, I'll give you the ingredients and then show you what I use. This is my breakdown, and I use, on my ingredients list, I've got parts of one thing to the parts to ingredients, and parts could be a tablespoon, it could be a cup, it could be a gallon. In my case, I use a cup. So the first ingredient I use is 3 parts or 3 cups of a high protein flour. Second part is brewer's yeast, 1 part brewer's yeast or 1 cup. Something I've not yet used before, but I will in the future, is dry low-fat skim milk. I keep forgetting to buy it, but I've not ever used it before. The bees still eat this stuff up. They're producing great brood, lots of royal jelly. So I think what we've got going right now is pretty good. 1 part powdered sugar or 1 cup powdered sugar, and 1 part vegetable oil, and then or 1 cup vegetable oil, and then 1-to-1 sugar mixture, which I use at the very end to kind of get the consistency where I want it. All right, so I mix all my put my dry ingredients in here, kind of stir them up to like what is close to homogeneous as I can get it, and then I'll add my 1 cup of vegetable oil. As I stir around, I'm mixing that all over the place. It'll turn into like a clumpy little clumps of pollen patty. Then you're going to add your sugar water mixture, and I warm it before I put it in there to kind of help it kind of ooze out, kind of spread out, warm up everything, make it easier to move around. Stir it around really good till I've got my pollen patties. I use these sheets right here. This is just a cutting board sheet, which I roll it out on. And then the reason I don't roll it on the paper is because sometimes you're rolling real hard on the wax paper. Put wax paper down, then you roll it out on that. Sometimes the wax paper will break apart. So I roll it out here, and then I just flip that upside down on the pollen patty and peel it up, and then put another layer of wax paper over top, as you can see. And then something I tried today, which it didn't work, I've got this really sharp pizza cutter, and maybe if I really gotten after it, I could have done it, but I use this sharp knife instead. I just cut them. As you can see, I cut them into fairly thin little pieces. Now, I've not yet ever weighed one of these before, but this mixture makes 4.5 pounds. So I was gonna go buy some pollen patties today on the internet, and I remembered I had some ingredients left over, which I forgot I haven't showed you those, but we'll go over that in just a second. But 4.5 pounds of pollen patty. This is about 1.4 ounces. These are what I typically use in my nukes. I've got 8 nuke boxes in the backyard and just 2 10-frame deeps, and I have some 10-frame deeps collecting honey right now, so they're not here. But I typically wouldn't feed if I'm collecting honey anyway, because there's tons of pollen and they don't need anything from me. But right now I'm trying to build these nukes up, so I'm feeding in the backyard. But like I said, that was only, what was it, 1.4 ounces, an ounce and a quarter. Is that right? An ounce and a quarter. Cut a bunch of those up. I put them in the freezer. When they're ready, when I need them, I can pull them out. And the way I lay them out in my nuke boxes is, let's say this is the nuke. This is the feeder hole in the top. I put them right in the middle, right over the brood. Make sure I'm not covering up the feeder hole, put the lid on, and I got my little jar feeder in the top. They've been devouring these pollen patties recently, so that's why I had to make more today. But I was gonna go buy some on the internet, and I remembered I had all these ingredients laying around I needed to use up. Plus, per pound, I think if you buy some Ultra Bee, it comes out to like 3 something a pound or something crazy like that. Now, I'm going to do the math on this stuff once I figure out the prices from the stores I bought them at, but I don't think I'm anywhere near that. Here's what I used. I just used some brewer's yeast. This is from a SOLGAR, Solgar. It's a 14-ounce thing of brewer's yeast. It's real dark. It's pretty much what gives the darker color to that. I use, this is a vital wheat gluten. It's really high in protein. It is 21 grams of protein. I guess for serving. Yeah. And then that bag right there, this is from the company Bob's. You can get this stuff all over the place. This is from Arrowhead Mills. It's a 23 ounce, it's a protein flour. So it says plant-based, organic chickpea and lentil flours, but it's got a 10-gram protein consistency, and then we've got soy flour. Soy flour is very high in protein. It says per serving, it says 10 grams per serving. Quarter cup is the serving size. Let's see what the serving size is here. Quarter cup serving size, quarter cup serving size. So they're all the same. But these are 10 grams. This one right here, I'm sorry, these are 10 grams. This Vital Wheat gluten was really high, 21 grams of protein. But like I said, my bees seem to like it. They seem to be doing a good job. I'll go ahead, cut off the excess here. I just stack these on top of one another, put them in the freezer. When I'm ready, when I need them, or when my bees need them, I just grab one out, two out, and I put them in the boxes. So fairly simple, easy, cheap method of getting your bees a little bit of extra nourishment that they probably need when you're going through a dearth, don't have much pollen, or you're trying to build up your population. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm in a period where I'm trying to get this population up. So next year when I go into the orange groves, we are, I don't know, I'm looking for at least 25 hives, maybe more. We'll see what we have by that time. But thanks for watching. Appreciate you watching. If you have any comments or questions about any of this, leave that down below. I will put the link to, I'm sorry, probably won't be able to put links to this in the description. I'll try. But I will put my ingredients in the description, and I'll look at the prices, see what this stuff costs out there. If I can find it on the internet, I'll put prices, whatever I found, do the breakdown for you to show you how much you can make on your own per pound in comparison to buying, say, some Ultra Bee from like Man Lake, which if you're buying it in the 10-pound pail, comes out to like $3.50 or more per pound. I know you can get 40 pounds at like $100 or $110, and that would be like $2 and change per pound. So you're getting a little bit of break there. Plus, no hassle, no mess, no cleanup. But I like the hassle, I like the mess, I like the cleanup, which is why I do a lot of the stuff I do on my own. All right, so I ran some numbers for you. This is comparing doing it on your own with ingredients I went out and bought myself, but I used prices that I just found on the internet real quick, did the math on all of it, broke it down in comparison to going to Man Lake and buying some Ultra Bee in the 10-pound and the 40-pound containers. So if you buy it in the 10-pound container, it comes out to about $3.89 a pound for the pre-made patties, and for the pre-made 40 pounds, it comes out to about $2.47 a pound. If you do it on your own, like what I did, the ingredients I used, it comes out to about $2.38 a pound. Now, this isn't buying in bulk. If you were to buy these ingredients in bulk, you're really going to be able to cut down on your costs. So it's roughly 7 cents less a pound, 6 cents less a pound if you do it on your own. Two benefits I see to doing it on my own. One, I can make the amount I need. Actually, there's 3 benefits. I like doing things myself. So this is a product that built by myself after doing some research on the internet and testing it in my hives and finding that it actually does seem to help my bees with brood production, or at least, I got a lot of royal jelly in my cells. That's important, and when we get a dearth around here as far as pollen's concerned, I've got that to supplement with. But so 3 things I like it for: being able to make the size patty I want, thickness, size-wise, doing it myself, and doing it in whatever quantity I need. So those are some benefits. There's your price breakdown. Something that's easy to make, fun to do. If you got kids especially, I'm sure kids will like getting messy in the kitchen. So I'll leave you with that. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.